Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan. So this little bonus segment is about ripping out on the kites, fixing, and then getting that third row done. And we're just going to sew together. It's nice, relaxing, a little chit chat along the way. So let's first look at the issue. Here's row 3 before it's sewn. And what I was doing was trying to place these light blues so that they did not end up, directly under another one, so to kind of balance them. And then there was one light pink, and there's light pink up there. There's not as many of those, so I just wanted to balance that. And then I just didn't want to get like see, this has like a navy red. I wanted to kind of like that even still might. Like, I don't want this red pointing here. I don't want that. I did that one other place here. And, now that I've pointed it out to you, I might have to switch it. See, I don't want that again. So I don't want that again. So I don't want it there. So it means I have 3 other positions for that. I could put it here. I like it there better. I like it there better than where I think it was over here before. Because this here, okay, this is where it was before. See what happens? This is too heavy, and these are too heavy. The look from a distance, they kind of look the same. So if I rotate that the whole other way, I don't have that going on. This is really minutia stuff. Really detailed, picayune things. But it makes me happy, and I know a lot of you work like this. If you don't work like this, no problem. You can work how it works for you. But I just thought I'd show you. So, okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to do that and then decide. I'm probably not going to switch that. I'm just going to leave it. Maybe I'll switch it. Because after I saw it, I'm like, I don't know. And it's easier to switch it now. I'll have to just undo these 3 seams. Just those 3 seams. And then rotate the block. How will I rotate it? Not that way, because there it is again. That's the same pattern. So I'll have to rotate it to the right or to the bottom. Probably maybe to the bottom. We'll see after it comes out. So get your seam ripper if you have to rip out something, or if you're doing something else that maybe you're trimming or you're cutting some squares, you just want to listen. Let's cut this out of here, because it's just part of the making, and I was going to try to ignore it. I thought, oh, it's fine, I don't notice it, it's fine. It's not fine. I do notice it, and so I am going to just do this partial thing. So when I was doing the other day, when I was doing all the quilts, laying them out in my house to switch the things out, I kept thinking, why don't I have a sunflower quilt? Now, I do have one sort of sunflower on my mama's garden, but it's like all the wrong colors. It's very primitive and folk art colors, and I just don't work in those colors anymore. And I worked with that pattern for years, teaching it, and so I don't really want to make that again in, the colors that I want for now. So that means I really need to go to that master list and add on there a sunflower quilt, and add that it's in the colors that I want to work on with this set of the quilts that are out there. So it's kind of interesting, when you start working like that, and decorating your home, or putting things together for a particular vignette. Maybe you're just doing a corner of your house and you're putting all that stuff together, the different colors, and the more cohesive your colors are, I find your space just sparkles. It just takes it to the next level to have the things coordinated like that. And it's not for everybody, but I really enjoy it. And I worked for so many years with magazine publishers and book publishers, and that's why the rooms and the vignettes and things like that look so amazing. You think, oh, I want a home that looks like a magazine. Well, you can. It's really about curating your colors, making the colors of everything more similar when you do a display, so that there aren't a ton of different colors. Then of course you can take it to another level where you reduce down the amount of items that there are. And that's just not, you know, always something you're comfortable with because you enjoy your things, or, you know, you don't really want to move the tissue box because, you know, you use the tissue box. But like in a photo shoot, you're rarely going to see like an everyday box of tissues, and you're not going to see a pile of used tissues that didn't get thrown away yet sitting on the end table, you know, that kind of a thing. It just is removed, and, you know, for the photo shoot, so that it's very cohesive and clean, and you look at it and you don't see that those items are missing, do you? It isn't, unless you really analyze it. It just looks like an amazing room that you would be cozy and want to sit in. So I learned a lot about the styling of things from that, and I really enjoy the feel of that look. And so for me, making the quilts, grouping them so the colors that are similar colors works really well. Okay, I've done 2 seams just while we're talking. Well, I'm not quite done with the second one, but there. Okay. Oops. Okay, so like I'm all bold and everything, going, yep, got it, but it's not coming open right at the front because I think I did a back stitch. So I've got to just get in here. Got to get in there like this and get those tighter. Every once in a while, when you've got these really bulky sections, I find that, you know, maybe it doesn't go through there quite as smoothly, so your stitches end up just a little bit closer. You've experienced that, right? And so what did I do a back stitch out here? What the heck did I do? I've got a little bit of heavier stitch there. Okay, I've got to pick at that one a second. So all I have to do is one more over here. And I actually have the top marked so that I know where the top is. And here's where I'm at. Okay? So I will get that third seam out and then rotate it and sew it all back in. It's free. It's free from its seams. Okay, now for the love of God, do not sew it back in the same way or another wrong way. Like, how many of you have done that? Yeah, we all have done it. But so now what happens is you have to be on your super A game. First of all, I will press it. I will press these seams open. You know, it's tempting to just like work with it, but half the time, if you try to put this back in with the seams not pressed open on both pieces, you end up with a fold somewhere and you have to unpick it again. So we will press this so that does not happen. We don't want that happening. And then we will be super focused to put it back in the correct way. And I'll show you the correct way after I press it. Let's get it right. Let's be super focused and get it right. What is wrong? The way I have it now. This is how it was before I took it out, with these two matching. Here we go. So you see them. So this is wrong. So I talked about moving them to one side. Actually, I was going to originally rotate that one, but here I am. So these two are the same, so I don't want it there. So, okay. So I've got the option is to put it with them both facing up or like this. Okay, I like it like this because I just don't, you know, as often as I can, I don't want to have sort of any kind of mirror, you know, a duplicate directional kind of thing. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is this seam, so these are to the side, and I will just pin them over here out of the way. That's just how I like to, you know, get them out of the way so they're not flopping and getting caught and you sew them in by accident or any dumb thing like that. Okay, so this is going that way. The pink is coming down here. I like it. I like that. And I know there's a pink over there, but that's fine. It's not pink here. It's over there. Totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, so this is these two I'll put in. So now I've got it across here, and then I'll put the, do I want to do it that way? Or I want to do the sides first. I want to do the sides first, don't I? Duh. Okay, so I want to do the sides first. Side, and then that side, and then the long bottom seam. Okay, so I'm working on sides. I'm good. I'm good. I'll show you when it's done. One side sewn in right here. Now I will release this folded one, and I will sew these two together. So right sides together like that, and pin those so I can sew that other side, and then we'll do the long edge. And ta-da! There we go. There we go. This is the one I fixed right here. So, oh, okay, that makes me much happier. All right, on to row 3. This is my new thing to try for pressing seams open. It is the pressing bar with a clapper. So the clapper will press seams, all kinds of seams, the wood weight, and I figured I could use another one of those, so I might as well get the one. You can get these without the wood, which are a couple dollars less, not enough for me to worry about, because the wood, for me, it's got 2 purposes. But it's a miracle. Oh my goodness, it's a miracle. It's like, why did I not know about these sooner? Why? So our ambassadors, Bobby and a bunch of other ones and a bunch of you all use this, and I just had not tried it. But you put your block on here. Maybe you all do it a different way, but put your block on here, just get it started to press the seam open like that, and then you just run it along and press, 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 and the wool brings heat. The wool holds heat, and so just like when you're using your wool mat, you've got heat on both sides, which tends to just make everything get pressed nicer. And look at that. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Okay, so I'll link you in the description box below, but that is the wool. It's really firm, so it's not like mushy. See, I'm pressing hard, you can see. So okay, so I also put a pin up here, so I know this is the top, and this is where I'm going to sew the next one on this side. Top, next one goes here, so I don't get it confused. One last check. The row is not sewn. One last check, and I'm good. I like it. All right, carefully match it. See, I've got, well, those are sticking in here, but I've got this pin at the top, so I know that that's the top row, and I have one over here. Well, I have the clip, so I know it's the top. I should put it there, but no, it doesn't matter, just so I know it's the top. So I went ahead and put a clip on the end of, that's the same that the clip is on the 2-row side, just so that I can keep them coordinated, so I don't accidentally stick this one up at the top. You know, I don't want to stick this one in the wrong spot. So this is the 3rd row, the one we were just doing. This was the fixed block. Well, I actually fixed the top one, and now right sides together, and I have to go across and pin all this. Now this part, you know, I find it's a little more tedious, you know, because of matching all of these points, these intersection points here. Yeah, and you'll notice that I left some of the paper in. That's fine. I'll get it out as I go along. You know, it'll come out. It's not a big deal if it's still there right now. So while I'm pinning this, we can just chat. So to make a full quilt of these, I think that's a really labor of love. I think this one is going to be big enough, but they are gorgeous. Can you imagine a whole bed-size quilt of these? I think that would just be so spectacular. So spectacular. And you did see that on the quilt parade. Did you watch the quilt parade? There are a few of you that have done quite a lot of blocks. And so I don't know where you're going with that, if you are going for a, you know, full quilt, like a bed-size quilt. But so when you're doing this kind of stuff, what do? You know, tell me in the comments below. Do you listen to books on tape? Do you just listen to music? Do you just listen to a movie when you're doing this kind of a thing? You know, getting it all pinned and ready to work with. And this is not a long length, but if I was doing this in a more length, I would probably sew it in chunks. Like this might be a big chunk, like sew it in 4 quadrants or even like 9 quadrants, just to break up how many times you have to go a full length of the whole thing, matching and sewing. I find that it just is mentally, if nothing else, mentally more relaxing and fun. If I don't have 15, you know, long lengths, you just end up with, you know, less than that. Less than that if you're sewing the chunks. Okay, all right. So the other thing I was thinking about when I was, you know, I probably should have made this, since it's going to be finishing in September, I probably should have made it in colors like what I did the living room with. If you watched that on Tuesday where I showed you the quilts that I switched out, had I made it in those colors, but I am making the pairs in those colors, so I will be good with that. Of course, the pairs will probably not be done to display in there. Who knows? Who knows? They might be. I still have, for the pairs, I still have this many, which I think it's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 pairs to still cut. I have to cut the backgrounds, and then I can start zoom making those. So I really should do that. But the other thing I want to do is I have to sew the piece and quilt sections together, like that, the rows. So that is next, to get that one done. That is next, and then I will cut. Well, I could cut the. Sometimes I just cut the stuff that, you know, those pair backgrounds. I was basically doing them as like 3 to 5 blocks, 3 or 4 blocks at a time, and then now I'm left with 5 blocks. So I do all 5 blocks. But that way, doing that many at a time, I didn't get confused. I didn't get like, you know, all of a sudden I was, you know, what color went with what. You know, I didn't get them all messed up. So far, I haven't made any mistakes on those. Yay! But there's still 5 more. I have a chance. I have a chance to mix them up. But I kind of got in a mode when you're doing this kind of things. You get in a mode where you're like, okay, do this, do this, do this, repeat on the next one, and you get in that mode. Okay, here they are. They're pinned. It's pinned. It's ready to sew. Then I'll press it and show you. And it's done. 3 rows. Ta-da! Yeah, so I'm kind of on a roll with this, so I might sew the 4th row together. Just put it back up there and lay the 4th row out for next week. Because only in a few days, right? Tuesday? Tuesdays come around quick. All right, my friend, thank you for hanging out. This is a little experiment, since it's not a state fabric bonus. It's a little experiment. I just thought every so often when I'm sewing something like this, maybe you're sewing, we just sit and visit. So thank you for keeping me company. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.